Good morning, y'all. Okay, well, I didn't get quite as much done in my closet this weekend because I took Friday off. I realized I had been working 2 weeks straight and needed a break. But anyway, I did get one side of my closet trimmed out. So let me flip my camera around and I'll show you the progress. This is the side that I worked on, the right side of the closet where my handbags, jewelry, shoes, and all of that will go. And here's what it looks like now. So you'll remember on Friday, it just was, plain plywood boxes like this. And here's what it looks like with the trim on. So I put the steps that I took to do this on my blog today, so you can hop over there if you want more details. I'll also be uploading a longer video showing all of this process. But anyway, I started with the two long horizontal pieces and, the top and the bottom. I attached those first, and on the bottom I used a 1x4, on the top I used a 1x6. There's still more molding to come because this is just the first step. Next, I'll be adding baseboards along the bottom and then crown molding along the top. But this was the first step, just adding these trim boards. After that, I added the vertical pieces here. And then the final step was to add all of the pieces on the shelves. So that is what I spent the last couple of days working on. And then I got everything wood filled. Now, if you've followed me for a while, you know I love wood filler. I use it very liberally. I've seen a lot of people use wood filler where they will put it on and try to get it really smooth and all of that. I don't do that. I have been DIYing for 30 years now, and I have realized that when you try to get your wood filler really smooth when it's wet, as it dries, it'll sink into your nail holes, your screw holes, it'll sink into your joints. And so I just avoid that by piling it on. You can see it's not pretty at all. But I only use wood filler where two pieces meet on the same plane. In other words, I would never use wood filler here. I would never use wood filler here. If this were going to stay, I would not use wood filler here. Those areas, I only use caulk. And so I only use wood filler on areas where I can get my rotary sander and sand this down really quickly and very smoothly. So it really doesn't matter that I have been very messy with the application of the wood filler because my sander is going to make very quick work of all of that. I also use wood filler here where the trim piece meets the plywood. I just like everything to be as smooth and seamless as possible. It's just the way I do things. So anyway, I've got all of that wood filled. I got all the screw holes, the nail holes, and the joints where all these pieces meet. All of that has been wood filled. So now it's ready to be sanded, which again, I'll just do with my rotary sander and probably 150 grit sanding discs. And it actually has to be done before I can install all of the molding because, you can see that some of this is going to be in the way. I can't put baseboards here before sanding that. So all of that will have to be sanded smooth before I can put my baseboards. And my baseboards, of course, are going to start here and go around and then wrap around into the front of that. I will also be putting baseboards inside here and of course along the bottom of the wall. And the same goes for the top. I don't have a whole lot of wood filler in the way except for on that corner. That would be in the way of my crown molding, but still it's just so much easier to sand it when you have full access to it rather than trying to sand right up next to crown molding, because you can damage your crown molding if you try to install it first and then sand around it. So anyway, I'll get all the sanding done, and then I will install my crown molding, which it also will start here, wrap all the way around, and then wrap around the side and back to the wall. And then it'll continue around the room. So anyway, that is the progress. You'll notice I did not do anything with this because I'm still designing this area. This is where I'm going to have a long, thin drawer with all the little sections, all the little compartments for earrings and rings and stuff like that. And I have two ways that I can do this. I can either just make it a regular drawer that pulls out with all the little compartments. And I do want this to be a glass top, so I'll have to get a piece of tempered glass for the top of this after I determine the size. But I also had an idea that I could, instead of making this a drawer, just make it a well, I don't know what you call it, storage compartment that doesn't move, and instead have the glass top where it raises up on hinges. Of course, the benefit to not making it a drawer is that I'll have more room. I won't have to back up against my center island in order to open it. There's just more room. The benefit of making it a drawer is that the glass top would be, it would just be in place. And then I could set things on top of here. So if I make the glass top on a hinge that comes up, then of course I can't set anything on top of here because I wouldn't want to have to move things out of the way every time I want to get to my earrings. So anyway, I'm still working through those design choices. Underneath that drawer, whichever way I make it, is going to be my necklace storage. And then I think I'll have another shelf here. So this side isn't completely finished. I'm still working out the details of this center section. But for the most part, this side is trimmed out. Still need molding, but the trim pieces are on. So anyway, here, let me step back here so you can get a look going the other direction. So that's what that looks like so far. Anyway, today I will start trimming out this side and hopefully have that to show you tomorrow.